Hi everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Cheese Masterpiece. I've actually never said that before. I don't have an intro, so I basically just start my thing like that. And I think as you guys can see and you guys can tell from the channel, from the title, you can see what today's video is about. Like my whole process of coming to Canada. I'll try my best to give you guys like accurate date and times. I actually had to like write things down so I don't forget and I don't mess things up. So I had to like plan this video. I've been planning to do this video since like the beginning of this my meet and break, which was like last week Friday, and today is already like my meet and break began last week Friday, and today is already like the next week Saturday. So imagine I've been postponing it, but like I just had to do it today, and it's like after 8 in the night, and yes, I just off for the video. You're welcome. So coming to Canada, I'm going to try and make this video as short as possible, probably 10 minutes. It's already 1 minute gone, 15 minutes highest. But I hope, like, I don't know if anything I say would help you. Probably like if you've been questioning, if you have been trying, maybe.
Viewers, I apologize. I'm continue.
If you have been trying to know how, this is not like a detailed process. I'm just telling you. I'm just going to give you dates and times of when I did some certain things and when like some certain things happened. It's not like a detailed process. Like you should do this, you should do that. I'm just trying to give you like an overview of my journey and like how everything happened. And it happened within a year. A year. So, let's go. So this whole process thing started in March 2020. November 2021. That was when my dad called me. All of a sudden, I was in school. Like if you watch the first video on my YouTube channel, you see that I was in UNN before, University of Nigeria in Enugu. So my dad called me as I was in school, and then he told me, "Oh, like we would want you to like go abroad to study medicine and stuff." So I was like, from where? Right? So they were like, is your Cambridge still valid? I wrote Cambridge when I was in secondary school, Cambridge GCE. So they were like, is your Cambridge still valid? I was like, yeah, I think so. I think it's valid for life or something like that. I didn't really know, but I was like, I was going to check and get back to them. And so the plan was to go to UK at that time, because my uncle is there. So after that, I don't know, we started working some things out. So he said I should register for like IELTS lessons. I should find out what I would need to do and everything. So I should register for IELTS lessons. So I went around. I remember that day I walked around in Enugu looking for like places where they do IELTS and stuff. I eventually got a place, started my IELTS training. So that was October 2021. So I did that November, December, and then I went home. And then I found out I had to renew my passport because my passport was expiring 2021 that year. So I renewed my passport that December. I went for my capturing, and then coming back in January, my parents were like, when I came back to school, when I resumed school in UNN, because obviously the process was still going on, my parents were like, oh, you're not going again, like I should just finish my BSc and everything. And I'm like, you were the ones that I was on my own. You were the one that said I should go, but now why are you canceling it and stuff? I cried though, but like, I was like, okay, whatever. So, yeah. After then, that was like January 2022, right? So I just kept doing I just focused on the nursing I was doing already in UNN, and then as I was doing January, February, March, there was the ASU strike, the indefinite ASU strike. So my parents said we should come back home. We came back home. They were already tired because like I've been in UNN since like 2018 December, and to that 2022 to last year, they've had like 3 or 4 strikes in between those years. As I was entering school, there was strike. So plus the whole 2020 lockdown, plus the whole ASU indefinite strike, my parents are like, no, we're not doing this. We're not doing this again. That we should change to like a private school. So they were like, we should take JAM. They told my sister and I, because my sister and I were in UNN together. So they were like, we should take JAM, and we were like, no, we're not taking. We don't want to change. We don't want to take JAM again. Like if we want to change a private school, but then want to do it through like transfer. We don't want to like start all over again. We don't want to take JAM again. How many times have we taken JAM? I've taken JAM like how many times? So yeah. So in January, my passport finally came out. In January, my passport came out. The passport I did in December came out. But obviously at that time I was like, I'm not using it again. So what's the point? So in March, when the strike happened, we went back home. They were like, we should take JAM. So we're not taking JAM. We eventually agreed to take the JAM. But then I now told my dad, I now asked my dad if I could like resume the whole schooling abroad process, if I could go abroad to school. And he was like, yes, but like we still need, like I should still write the JAM. I'm like, what's the point? But I was like, okay, no problem, I'll write it. So my sister and I were not even serious, like we didn't even like read for the JAM. We just wrote it like that. I ended up getting like 243. Yeah, I got 243. I think she got 242. Then, but that was not my concern, because my concern was like, I'm going abroad. So I took JAM in May. Yeah, I took JAM in May, right? Yeah, in May. Like in between May 7th to May 15th, that was when I took my JAM. And then, so in April, like April before May, I had already gone to see like an agent for the whole Canada stuff. I don't know, I think we're now looking at Canada instead of UK, because number one is also less expensive. So we're now looking at the whole Canada thing. So in April I had gone to see my agent. I think I saw her like on April 13th, the 13th of April. That was when I went to see her. She asked me to like send her all my documents and everything. So I sent her my letter of recommendation from my secondary school. I sent her my secondary school transcripts, junior secondary school transcripts, senior secondary school transcripts. What's that thing called? Testimonial. Yeah, I sent that to her. I sent her my Cambridge results. I don't know if she used it, but then I just sent it to her anyways. Sent her like a copy of my passport and photocopy of my original WAEC results. So that was April 13th, right? So April 25th, she sent me a message that I probably post like all these things as I'm talking by the side so you guys can see. By April 25th, she told me that, I had gained admission into TRU. So that was April 25th. So they gave me a conditional letter of acceptance. I don't know if you're in where they write like no, not for visa purposes, because it's conditional. I will put a copy of it. I don't think I should. Nah, I won't. But like, you know what I'm talking about. So a conditional letter of acceptance. So that was like, we've accepted you, you've gained admission. So you need to pay your school fees so that you can get like your final letter of acceptance. So April 25th, I gained the admission. I paid in May, after I wrote my JAM. Remember I said I wrote my JAM in between like 7th of May till 15th of May, one of those days, I've forgotten. But then on the 16th was when I was supposed to pay my school fees. But then I think we did not understand the whole generating what's that thing, remittance, reference number and things like that, pay my tuition. So I delayed paying my fees like a bit, and I ended up paying like 31st of May instead of 16th of May. So because I paid 31st of May, I was deferred to the December. I was deferred to winter. That's why I came in winter 2023. I was supposed to come September 2022. That was like fall, but then because I didn't pay my school fees on time, I was deferred to the next semester because I hadn't even like gotten my visa and stuff like that, and I wanted to come in September, and it was already May, June, July, August, September. So they just deferred me to winter. So I was now working with winter dates, January 2023. So I paid my school fees on the 31st of May. I was deferred to January. I was deferred to January. So after the 31st of May, my agent now booked my medicals. This is an important thing. If you want to if you're coming to Canada or something, if you're planning on coming to TRU Canada or anything, just make sure that you've done your medicals before you go for your biometrics. Yes, do your medicals before you go for your biometrics, so that, like, because when you do your biometrics, um they will now request for a medical. So if you've already done your medicals, the IMO, which is the International Migration Organization or something like that, or medical organization, I've forgotten. I mean, Immigration Medical Organization, yes, they would just forward your medicals to the visa appointment center. So you don't need the visa center. So you don't need to like come back and do medicals and come and start submitting and this thing again. And then before they will now start opening your file to check whether to give you a visa or not. So just make sure that you do your medicals before you go for your biometrics. So immediately after I pay my school fees on the 31st of May, my agent, she already booked my medicals like sometime in the middle of May, and my medicals was 1st of June. So I went and I did my medicals on the 1st of June. So after I paid my school fees, they gave me my final letter of acceptance. So I did my medicals 1st of June, and then after I did my medical 1st of June, then in July, then I now paid for an IELTS class. My agent too was offering an IELTS class, like she offers IELTS classes. So I paid for the IELTS classes, and then I took my IELTS. The IELTS, I took it on the 29th of July, but then I started classes in my agent, like in her organization, you take classes for 4 weeks and then you write your IELTS on the 5th week. So, but us, I don't know why they kept delaying our exam. So I got to do classes for like 6 weeks, and then we took, finally my whole like group, we took our exam on like the 29th of July. 29th, some people took 29th, some people took 30th of July, and then my result came out on the 1st of August, right? Yes, my result came out on the 1st of August. Just do your best to score like 6 and above. Yeah, 6 and above. I think that would get you, that would be really, really good. So the result came out 1st of August, and then my visa appointment was on the 3rd of August. So I went for my, that was like, the visa appointment for Canada is like, I think biometrics, it's not like interview or anything like that. You go there to do like thumbprint and everything, and they will take your picture, you say your name, they will tell you some things. So I went for my biometrics on the 3rd of August. And then I went back to Enugu on the 6th of September to get my like remaining like items, my clothes and everything from JNN because I was not coming back again. I don't know if I'm able to find the video of like when I went with my sister. I don't know, I'll probably insert it, but if not, I don't know. I was looking for it before I shot this video, but then it's no longer on my phone. So I went on the 6th of September with my sister. We traveled to Enugu to go get our stuff because we're not coming back again. Said goodbye to people that I valued a lot. Yeah, so that was 6th of September. So remember, I did I went for my biometrics on the 3rd of August, right? So 3rd of August to 3rd of September, nothing. 3rd of September to 3rd of October, nothing. On the 11th of October, as I was making my hair, remember, that was when my angel called me and told me that, oh, that my visa has come out and everything. I was like, yay! On the 11th of October. So imagine making all those preparations, written IELTS, everything, and then your visa does not come out. I'm going to get my stuff from school. So my mind was already like, this is already this thing. So I wrote, what am I saying? Yeah, the visa came out on the 11th of October to my parents. We're all happy and everything. So it was just like a matter of time now for me to like start planning, and like I'll start going start planning and booking my flights to go to Canada. So I went to see my agent on, I think this was on the 24th. On the 24th of November, I went back to her to collect my documents. She was like, I should come back to collect all my documents because she was my passport, obviously. She wanted to give me my passport. She wanted to give me my my like other documents that she was holding. So when I went to see her, she was telling me that, oh, like I hadn't registered for my courses then, and like the space was closing already. So she was like, that like I would need to go to the school so like I could register my courses, blah blah blah. So this was 24th of November. My plan was to come on the 23rd of December. That was when I planned to travel. 2 days before Christmas. But because I also wanted to spend time with my siblings. My sister already changed to a private school. So I wanted to spend time with my siblings, right? Because my other siblings, they were still in school. So that was the plan. But then when I went and she told me that, I had to go like early, and she told them that I was coming like ending of November. I'm like, So when I got back home that day, I told my dad. She said I should also do. She now also advised me like I should also do my police report before I go. So that night when I go back, I told my dad about the whole new development. We were agitated and everything, but like we just had to move forward. We had to like look at the next thing to do. So he made a few calls, and then like to know what the police report thing was all about, blah blah blah. And then the next day, that was 25th of November, I went to do my police report. When I came back, that 24th night itself, I drew up a list. I probably put the list on the screen, but like I wrote a list of like the things I needed. I already started writing a list a long time ago, so I just compiled it. The most important things, wrote a list of them, and then the markets in which they were. I categorized them like food items, clothing, electronics. I think that was just basically all. So the market in which we were going to go to like get them, the food stuff was in Ojo market, the clothing was in VI. Sorry, and provision. Provision was like the last category. What am I saying? The food items were in Ojo market, the clothing was from VI. Provision was from Balogun market, like trade fair. And then what was the last one? Technology, gadgets. That one was my dad. He was going to handle that one. So I drew up a list. After I got my listing on the 25th, after I got my police report on the 25th, where's it all? Yeah, this is what it looks like. So I got my police report on the 25th. We now started going to the markets. We went that weekend because that was like a Friday 25th, yeah. So on Saturday we went to get the food stuff. Sunday obviously market was not open. Monday we went to VI. Tuesday I think we went to VI again because I was leave the next week Friday, right? Imagine. And then that night, that 24th night, I also booked my flights. When I came back from seeing my agent that night, I booked my flights. Called the flight agent because I already told her to book it for 23rd. We already booked it for 23rd. And then I told her about the new development, and she's like, let me see what I can do and stuff like that. So 25th, the next day, she sent me my like new flight ticket. Sorry if I keep hitting this off. She sent me my new flight ticket. So basically that was then we just kept going to markets Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I think that was when we went to trade fair to get the provision. On Monday and Tuesday, we went to VI to get my clothes and stuff. And then Thursday, that was when we used Thursday to like pack everything because I was leaving on Friday. We used Thursday to pack everything, and then I also like talk to my parents, spent the last night with them. And then Friday was now the day I was supposed to leave. I went from my flight. I used Lufthansa. My flight was by 11:50 p.m. I don't know if you guys watched the video. You can probably watch the video of the day I traveled. 11:50 p.m. I went from Lagos to Germany, from Germany to Calgary, and then from Calgary to Kamloops. So if you're coming to Canada, or something like that, if you're coming to Kamloops or if you're coming to Canada, but I'm going to use Kamloops because it's Kamloops I came to. Your first point of entry into Canada, like let's say you entered through, some people entered through I think Toronto or Vancouver, some people, but I entered through Calgary. That was like the first state I visited in Canada. So I entered through Calgary before I now took a connecting flight to come to Kamloops. So at that first point, that's where they would like ask you, that's where you would obtain your study permit. See, I'm flinging it. Your study permit. This is like the most important document you would have in this Canada. So that's where you obtain your study permit. And what they asked me for, when I went there, they asked me for my passport. The man that was talking to me, the immigration officer, asked me for my passport, my letter of acceptance, my immigration letter. And when I went to collect my documents from my agent, she gave me the it's called like an introduction letter. It's kind of like the embassy is introducing you to the immigration people, like this person is coming, so it's like an introduction letter. It's called an immigration letter or something like that. Yeah. So they asked me for the immigration letter, and then my proof of funds. So just 4 documents: passport, letter of acceptance, immigration letter, and proof of funds. And then they asked me some questions: what my dad does, where my dad stays, what I'm coming here to do, because I was coming here to study. I've forgotten. But like, there are basically questions I could answer. There are no like tough questions and stuff. So basically this video is already 20 minutes. Basically that's like my whole process of coming to Canada. And yeah, I don't know if you guys probably have any questions. I want to say, don't ask me like deep questions like how did I book my clinical. My agent did all that. My agent did all the booking of the medicals, booking of my visa appointment. All I just needed, she was just giving me information, and then I was just going. She would tell me, oh, your this is on this, I will go. You would tell me, oh, your exam is on this, I would prepare, and things like that. So I did not do any booking. I didn't book my biometrics. I didn't book my medicals. She did all that. That's what an agent is for. Makes your job easy. The person makes your job easier. So but I would advise that you get involved. Like, don't just let your agent be doing everything. Also be involved in the process. Want to know everything, so that if things go wrong, you know where you can start fixing your problem from. Don't just sit back and be like, oh, they're getting everything from me and things like that. My parents were not even involved in this so much. I was the one probably mostly doing all the work. All they were doing was paying the money that needed to be paid or paying the fees. But then I was the one. I went to the visa appointment myself. I went for my medicals myself. I wrote my IELTS, went for it myself. Most of the things I did myself. So be involved, so that if something goes wrong, you know where things went wrong, right? So don't just sit back and relax and say, oh, your agent is already doing everything for you. I don't know. Probably, I don't know if agents get irritated when clients interfere with their work and stuff. But then you are paying these people money. This is what my dad kept saying. You are paying them money. They're not doing you a favor, right? So you should know what is going on. You should be aware so that you don't make mistakes. So I think that's like the end of this video, right? It's already 20 something minutes. I planned it to be 15, but I'm sorry. I rushed so that you guys could hear like everything I was saying. I don't even know if you heard every single thing I said. I hope you guys can hear me when I talk, because I feel like some people can't hear what I'm saying, especially if you're not Nigerian. I feel it will be difficult for you to understand, will I say, my accent or something, or like the way I speak. But I really don't have this. I would write out the things that I say, but then editing already takes me like 3 to 4 hours without even putting captions. So I don't know how many hours it will now take me if I now want to come and start typing out every single thing I'm saying. But I hope you get the points, like the main points. I don't know. If there's a way I can figure out, like if there's any like technology that helps with captions or something, maybe I would include that. I'll check that out. But then if not, yeah, I just hope you guys can hear me. I'm trying. Yeah. Maybe you look good. Like I look very pretty this night. But it's okay. Yeah, I have another video to shoot. You guys will probably see me wearing the same thing, but please, content creators, this is what we suffer. If I don't shoot this video now, right, I won't shoot it again. And I don't want to do this dressing up again. I don't even have the strength. So I'm just going to shoot the next video right away. Oh yes, subscribe, share, like. The more you like my videos, the more people would see the videos and people would like click on it. So please, thank you to all of you, my subscribers already. I think we're 120. Thank you, the 120 of you. And I hope you like, share, and subscribe. Comment, leave a comment too if you have one. You can also reach me on my email, through my email. You can send me an email, or you can just like put your questions in the comments. I always reply. Bye.